All right. Okay, then. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. This is DJ D Phoenix coming to you live on the special October 2021 edition of Hook, Line, and Thinker. Thank you very much for checking it out. You can also go back further on the page and see prior episodes, as well as just a bunch of random stuff all connected to Hook, Line, and Thinker, our podcast here on the Groove Zone Network. So we're going to get into our second segment tonight, which is behind the scenes of Pripyat, Ukraine. Baurice Nelson was there recently and is going to talk to us about it. So if you're ready, here we go.
Yo, what's going down? This is your boy Dub FX. I am doing a show called Hook, Line, and Thinker with DJ D Phoenix on Neo Retro FM, so tune into that. Peace.
I did a little bit ago with the picture of the seaside town.
No.
It's in Cyprus, and it's like Basora or Barossa or something like that.
Right.
As you look at this picture, it looks like it's on the beach, like in Miami.
Okay.
There's nothing but a long stream of hotels and motels and stuff, and condos and all that. So I'd say probably maybe a good mile and a half or more of like buildings on this beach side. Totally abandoned. I don't remember what the story is, but it's in Cyprus, and they closed the city up years ago. I can't believe something that size could be closed up. Baurice,
what's up?
How are you, buddy?
Good.
Good. Hey, I have no idea how many people to expect tonight, but that's always kind of the way it goes. So we're gonna. I don't want to waste much time, and forgive me because I'm finishing up the KFC order that they screwed up. Anyway,
that's right.
Cool footage. Oh my gosh.
Thanks, man. That town you were talking about, though, I've looked that up. The one in Cyprus, that's an old resort, like a resort town or something. Well, I'm not sure. I think some kind of war type situation is what kind of closed that thing down. But it was like a whole beach,
Yeah.
Resorty kind of town or something.
Yeah, and you're right. In Cyprus, it's like Barossa or resort, something like that. Amazing. But the size of the town that you guys went to, though, it was what was the population at one point?
It was same as Lacey, Washington. So it's about 45,000 people.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
But unlike Lacey, this was all high rises, 6 to 16-story buildings. There was no houses. Nobody lived in a home. Right. This was a city built for the support for Chernobyl. The city is Pripyat, but about 2 miles from Chernobyl. So we weren't actually in Chernobyl, but that's what you refer to. You think about the disaster was Chernobyl.
Right.
This is the support city that was built by the government to house all the workers and the infrastructure for the power plant.
Okay.
Which consists of 45,000 people, apparently. They didn't all obviously work in the power plant. There was other stuff going on there, but.
Well, yeah, the economy had to fluctuate or had to grow somehow. So the workers, took care of the businesses. Wow. Well,
that being said, and I don't know the ins and outs of this, but this was 100% communist. So, this was the government does provide. And
right.
This city was kind of the model city of the future to show off. So if you lived there or worked there, you were living the good life, but it was by design. You know how like North Korea has the city they'll show you kind of thing or something, right?
Right. And wasn't it 1986 that happened?
86, yeah. End of April in 86, this thing blew up.
Wow. Okay. And so being within 2 miles of the plant itself, then that little town that you went to, sorry, is the city of Lacey. So it was probably decimated right off the bat then, right?
Well, okay. So it wasn't like there was a nuclear explosion. Okay. So it wasn't like there was a nuclear explosion and then everything blew up.
Right.
There was a explosion in reactor number 4 that blew up.
Okay.
it emitted immense amount of nonstop radioactive material into the atmosphere, the air.
Okay.
So nothing in the city. The only thing that was really damaged that I'm aware of by the explosion itself was the reactor. The reactor, it itself blew up. Okay. And but it was the junk it was puking out that, you know, it was just it unleashed untapped nuclear oil, you know, well or something. So that whole city, they evacuated in like 2 or 3 days.
Really?
Yeah, and they lied to them. They told them you'll come back in like 3 days, or you'll come back in some period of time. I can't remember what it was, but they told them, you know, just go, leave, and they took Kiev as the neighboring city, the big city, right? So like it's about 2 hours away.
Okay.
They took all the public transit in Kiev and sent it to Pripyat to pick everybody up and start moving them out and moving them back to Kiev, which completely shut down Kiev, right? Because all the buses, everything just went on this massive thing. And one of the problems I've learned of this is so they you know, they organized this whole evacuation, and they had all these people come out of their high rises, their apartments, and line up and wait for their buses. Well, some people sat out there and waited for a few hours while they were being overly exposed to the radiation, where they would have been much more protected had they stayed inside their building. I don't know how many people actually died as a result of the, you know, there was a handful of people that died immediately. A couple in the explosion, I believe. I'm not totally sure on this. The people that came in and fought the fire, those guys were just screwed. And but the people in the town, I'm sure that there's statistics on the later health problems, but they didn't all just wither away immediately.
Well, but with the amount of radiation, like what you were saying a minute ago, though, because that was the accident when the radiation leaked. Now, how much radiation are we talking about? Any ideas? And I mean, I realize
apocalyptic amount, though. I mean,
that's a lot.
An amount that it became a massive effort to make sure that they contained this. So I don't know if you saw in the video that I took, but there's what they have over the top of this thing now is this sarcophagus dome. And
I noticed that. Yeah.
Oh, how did I lose you?
No, you didn't. I'm here.
You see me? Yeah. I don't see you anymore. Okay, You're back. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought I accidentally. Yeah. So this dome that they've built, it's kind of like the top of T-Mobile Park. It was built, and then you could actually roll it back out if you wanted to for some reason. But that dome contains the other dome that they built that has started to fail already. So they did as quick as they could thing over the top of this, where they just, you know, came in there, you know, as much as they could. And then that thing didn't really hold for very long. And then now they built this one. I think this one's only supposed to like hold for 100 years. So it's holding it back, but it's, you know.
So it's all it's in that dome?
It's in that dome. Yeah, the reactor is under that dome, and it's just still exposed, still. I don't, you know, I'm not really, I'd have to do a lot of research to intelligently answer all these questions, but that's the way I understand it.
Well, and I know that a lot of this is secondhand information from either what you've heard or researched or whatever yourself.
Right.
Tell you what, let me make a couple of introductions real quick, and we'll just continue going with where we're at. First of all, actually, let's see. So, Baurice, I've got Doug, who on my screen is below you. Doug, this is Baurice, and then he's from Lacey. And then from Indiana is my buddy Spencer, but he goes by Sergeant First Class Diggler. This is Baurice. And
how you doing, man?
Good. Sorry I'm late.
Hey, that's okay. No, better late than never. This is going to be interesting. So totally stoked about this. Let me do a quick lead in, and we'll actually I think we'll watch part of the first video. Okay, here we go. Hey guys, you're watching Hook, Line, and Thinker on the Groove Zone Network out of Olympia, Washington. I'm DJ D Phoenix coming to you tonight, and with me I've got our regulars, Doug next door.
Hey.
And Sergeant First Class Diggler.
Yo.
Okay, there we go. But we've also got a special guest, and actually some of the viewers might remember Baurice because he's been on the show with me a couple of times before. But we've got with us Baurice Nelson tonight, and he's hanging out with us on the panel. Baurice, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me back.
Hey, thank you for being available, man, especially on such short notice. So if you're just now tuning in, actually, we are talking about we're talking about Diggler's Lips, or whatever it was that he was just doing. If you were watching last week, or on the last part of the segment anyway, before we cut into this, we started talking about abandoned cities and ghost towns. And basically a ghost town is any city, village, or town that has been closed down, whether it's due to economic or man-made or natural causes. Usually the city is pretty much left intact, but either zero or no inhabitants at all. So Baurice actually just got back from, and tell me how to pronounce it. It starts with a P.
I think I'm saying it correctly. It's now Pripyat,
Okay.
Pripyat, Pripyat.
Okay.
And to hear the Ukrainians say it does not help me at all, so.
Well, and actually there's a, weird, I'm kind of going not phonetically, but the way that their words read is not how they sound.
It's a different alphabet. Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah. So Dig. Okay. So,
Yo,
okay, cool. I just want to make sure that you were with us.
I am listening. This is interesting stuff.
So, for some reason, the first one of the three, the video actually, what's it called again? In the video that we're about to watch, Bruce?
Oh, my video? Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't know we had.
No,
So I titled Into the Zone.
Into the Zone, that's what it is. Okay, cool. Now, for some reason, I couldn't get the first part to download in time, so I've got excerpts from parts 2 and 3. And guys, if you want to watch the whole thing, you can check it out on YouTube. So it is available on there. So let's go ahead. We'll break away. Do you want? Actually, this is the part. Bruce, why don't you go ahead and just start sharing with us a little bit about some of your highlights, and I'll get the video ready to go.
Well, so part 1 is basically, you didn't get any. That's just basically our trek in. And so 2 starts off us in the city, and 3 finishes up with us in the city, and then our trek back out. It took us 2 nights in and 2 nights out, basically. We made it out.
They made it out, which is good, because otherwise we wouldn't be having this show right now. Yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. We've been having a few difficult technical difficulties, but I think they're starting to smooth out a little bit at the moment, I hope. Yeah, that was Baurice Nelson, and we've got a couple more clips from that. And by the way, next Wednesday night, the 20th of October, is going to be.
He finishes up.
Okay, there we go. Is going to be the second half of tonight's show. I didn't want to do it all in one lump, so tune in again this coming week, next Wednesday at 7 p.m., same bat time, same bat channel, for the second part of all of this. Okay, so like I said, we've got just a couple more files real quick that we're going to watch with Baurice, and then we will move on. But I want to thank him very much for taking time out with us here recently to share this stuff with us. Pretty cool.
One spot.
All right, but we're not going to stay in one spot. We're going to do this. Here we go.
Finishes up with us in the city, and then our trek back out. It took us 2 nights in and 2 nights out, basically. We made it out quicker than we made it in, but it was 12, 15 miles each night in the dark, not on a planned trail most of the time, with 50-pound packs. And I say that a lot because for me, that is not something I normally do. My buddy Neil, no problem, firefighter guy with, a lot of tank experience, but it was tough. I mean, it was, I was walking around for like 2 or 3 months ahead of time trying to get myself not, I don't want to be out there dying or anything, but
yeah.
I mean, there's nothing, if you're in trouble, it's just too bad.
So how far of an excursion is this from the closest occupied city then?
So to get there, first we flew into Kiev, which was a cool city. I was glad I got to check it out. I definitely, if you're ever going to be in that area for whatever reason, which I would never have been otherwise, man, it was an awesome city. They've only had their true independence since 2014. I did not know that. They're very happy about that. They're very excited about that. They're kind of blossoming in certain ways, it seemed like. And they definitely want, if you speak English, they want to tell you if they're going to talk to you. Everybody's theme is they just cannot, they hate Russia so much. They just hate Russia. And there's an ongoing skirmish on their border currently anyway, so that's why. But they will go out of their way to tell you, you know, and I mean, fuck Putin is basically what they will say, and they mean it. But they have good reason for that. But anyway, so we did about a 2-hour. So we had to go to the outskirts of Kiev. That took us about 45 minutes. And, you know, I don't know how the crow flies, right? But it took about 45 minutes in an Uber to get to this outskirt meeting area where we met these Ukrainian guides that we had hooked up with and hired to take us in there as a group. And then it was about a 2-hour car ride from that point to get to the outskirts just before you got to the 30-kilometer containment exclusion zone, the 30-kilometer exclusion zone. So that is on all roads and everything. You can't go. There's checkpoints. You can't go into that 30-kilometer. It'd be like going on base or something, right? Military base.
Right.
So you don't go on it. And so just shy of that, you're kind of in the middle of nowhere. And we went into like the end of as far of a public road as you could get, and the beginning of kind of a national forest looking thing, right?
Okay.
That's where we started hiking. So we hiked in so it was a 2-hour car ride there. We started at 11 o'clock at night, and we started hiking. We hiked in till 5 in the morning. And that was strip down, cross the river with your pack over your head, through fields, through abandoned villages. Sometimes you're on a road, sometimes you're on a trail, sometimes you're just in the middle of stuff. And you're trying not to, I didn't see anything along the trail, but I was always paranoid because the guides were like, you just never know. You're not supposed to do this. So you don't want to get caught. And that's why you're not going through the gate, because you can't. Unless you're on some kind of there is a legal tour you can take, but it's pretty restricted and stuff. So
why would you want to do that though?
You can't really see. You can't see the stuff they don't want to do. I mean, you can't climb the Ferris wheel. I climbed the Ferris wheel. So anyway, you got to do all this. And I was paranoid the whole time because, the way the guides made it sound like, around every bush is going to be a cop. And so, and my teenage days kicked in where I was pretty good at hiding from cops. So I thought, I could do this, but I didn't know what I'd do if they popped out. Right. But apparently really along the river, because that's kind of like a natural moat of sorts that they kind of, you got to cross that. That's a barrier. That's where they actually use drones to kind of patrol that and stuff. We never saw anything. These villages. And then we stayed, from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. ish. We stayed in one spot, and we didn't really get going on one spot. And we didn't really get going on the second night till about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. But again, because we wanted to go at night and dark, try to be undercover. And the last bit, so it was almost, 30 kilometers, whatever that relates to miles. That's about what we hiked in the 2 nights. The last bit
never mind.
was on Corporate Road.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The road, kind of unused, but could be used. You just want to make sure you can see if some headlights were coming or not. But it was tough, man. It was just a tough, it was tough. And you had to carry water in and carry your food in. And you didn't carry all the water for the whole trip. You just carried enough water to get there, but you carried your food for the whole trip. But so that was getting there. And so when we got in there, it was like 2 or 3 in the morning. We couldn't see the city when we came in at all. The last little bit was on some train tracks. There was 3 other guys that joined our group that were from somewhere else we didn't know were coming, that the guides had kind of, for money, because they're doing this for money. They got these other 3 guys in there. And one guy was very by himself, was very equipped, the other 2 guys were nice and everything, but they were like buddies that knew each other from playing video games online and just kind of said, hey, let's do this. And they never even put a backpack on before they got there. And one guy was puking, and he was in trouble. And they just lived at home with their moms, kind of thing. I think one of the guys, their mom even packed their bag for him because he had all this crap, and they were like, what are you doing? Why are you, that's weight. And he's like, I didn't even know this was in here. We're like, how did you not know that was in there? He pops the GoPro out. He pops his GoPro out, but he's got to take all the saran wrap off it and everything. I was just like, well, I bought one for the trip too, but I didn't use it before I went on the trip. So he had all this camo stuff, and he wanted to take pictures in, but he had the tag still hanging off of it. And I mean, he did okay. It was his buddy that was just dying. But
Oh
anyway, it was tough. We ran into two different groups that were leaving separately on the way out, which was scary because at first you thought, oh shit, what are these lights coming at me? And security of some kind. And then it was like, oh hey, what's up? But they all spoke like Russian, Ukrainian, so it was weird because I don't know what they're saying.
Did you guys have a translator?
No, but the one guy that we had spoke pretty good English, and he was Ukrainian. So yes, he was the other guy had no English. Other than that, we didn't need to talk to anybody. It was just those encounters we didn't plan on. 2 a.m, we get in there. They put us in this back of this building that, all the buildings there are 35 years vacant, and nature has taken over a lot of stuff, and trees are growing through things, and the brush is high, and it's hard to tell. Sometimes you're walking down a path and you see street lights sticking out of the trees, and you realize, oh, this was a major road. It looks like moss and brush and trees, but then you can kind of see the line of street lights now that's focused in on for you, and you're like, oh, this was a street. And it's like, I can see it, but where's the pavement? There's not even any pavement left, So this is weird. Yeah, I don't know how that just breaks down and goes away or something. So we were shacked up in the back of this building. Okay. And then the next day we went out and spent 2 or 3 different trips into the city and looking around, back that night. And then the next morning in for quite a few hours. And then we came back and we chilled out. And then that second night, we did 2 nights there, but then at the end of that second day, we started our trek out.
Okay.
But we made better time on the way out. And part of the reason, the guy that was puking, we unanimously decided for him that he was turning himself into the police. Because there's no way. And here's the worst thing that can happen. So if you get caught, the fine is $37.
That's it?
You're listening to Hook, Line, and Sinker. Keep it here on Neo Retro. This is DJ Dinosaur.
Love it. Cool.
You're listening to Casey Kasem.
Hey. Rock and rolla. Just like the rock and rolla Ayatollah.
The Ayatollah of rock
and rolla. Dyslexic, whatever. I'll raise my hand. So that was the first part of Into the Zone with Baurice Nelson. Like I mentioned a little bit ago, tune in next week at 7 p.m. for part 2. We'll have footage of his trip in behind the walls of Pripyat, Ukraine. Cool stuff. Anyway, so we're now we're going into our third last little segment. Don't go anywhere. Just refresh your screen here on Facebook, and in just a few, we'll be back momentarily, but you don't necessarily have to go anywhere. Just keep it right here. We'll be back here in just a moment. I'm DJ D Phoenix, and we are going straight into it. I'm DJ D Phoenix. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking this out here on our Facebook page. This is Hook, Line, and Thinker, a podcast, and this is the winding down part of the show. So next Wednesday night, 7 p.m. is part 2. Tune in for that as well. But let's get on with it, shall we? All right. Hey,
You're listening to Hook, Line, and Sinker. Keep it here on Neo Retro. This is DJ Dinosaur.
Love it. Cool.
You're listening to Casey Kasem.
Hey. Rock and rolla. Just like the rock and rolla Ayatollah.
The Ayatollah of rock
and rolla. That's it?
That's it. But the other thing is you're immediately taken into custody. Your picture's taken. They put you into the system. They stamp your passport. And then they take you to Kiev, and you have 3 days to leave the country. So, on the way out, I don't want to get caught. But if I do, I was already in. On the way in, it would suck because I'd rather pay $500 and still be able to go than 37 and be removed. You know what I mean? So,
no doubt.
So for him to turn himself in, he got a $37 bus out basically, and he was leaving the country anyway. So, it's not, oh my God, they're going to throw you in Siberia prison or something. It's not like that.
Isn't it called the Gulag?
Is that what it's called?
I don't know. Doug, you probably know. What is a Russian prison called?
Why would I know that?
I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't. Aaron.
I don't know, but well, you're not, again, this is Ukraine, so it's former Soviet Union, but not Russia. And they want to make sure that they are, they lived under Soviet control until somewhere in the 90s.
Right.
And then that broke apart, and then they were under their own, I think it was their own elected person, but that person was elected by the party, not by the people. So that was still like bad for them.
Right.
And in 2014, they elected their own guy.
Can you imagine 2014 and you gain your freedom?
It's weird because there's this thing called Independence Square in the middle of Kiev that we were in, and there's just all this stuff in there that it shows like pictures of things that I don't know whether it was a celebration or kind of a riot or a public demonstrations, but it's been the date's 2014. It's like that's like yesterday. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, hey, Hive Switch. DJ Hive Switch.
What's going on?
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Good.
Let me make a couple of introductions real quick, and then we're going to watch a movie.
Cool.
Actually, we're going to watch a film. So DJ Hive Switch is one of my DJs on the season with us right now. So Aaron, we've got, and I don't know how it shows on your guys' thing, but our guest tonight is Baurice, up here in the corner. Baurice is just recently back from the Chernobyl area. And so kind of going along the lines with the abandoned cities and ghost town thing, he's going to hang out and talk with us tonight. And then I don't know if you remember, but there's Sergeant First Class Diggler and Doug next door. DJ, hi, everybody. All right, so what we're about ready to watch, I've got this broken down into like 5-minute segments. And this first one is, and it's from a documentary or a group of things that Baurice has put out on YouTube called Into the Zone. And if I can find where I'm at here we go. So Baurice, this is like from the second part, probably not all that far in. So, all right, guys, and there we are.
I'm just gonna mute myself though, because I'm
mute yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I'm cooking right now, so I don't want you all to be hearing all that shit.
Well, here's
we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
This is kind of a lot of fluff at the beginning, if you can hear me, but that's just the city networks functioning.
It still looks pretty sparse.
You want to probably jump ahead about 10 minutes if you want to show anything up there.
Well, if I jump ahead 10 minutes, it'll be the end of the reel.
Oh,
because 5 minutes long. So let me see. Okay, so you said that was boring. Here we go.
Yeah.
3 guys we didn't know that had joined.
I'm just chatting here though. So in this reel, if you get past me, is when you're gonna see anything worth seeing.
Happy to
all right, well let's see what we got. Oh, here we go.
Boots are for, right?
No, this is so this is the roof of the building that we stayed in. I haven't gone anywhere yet at this point.
Okay.
So in this reel, if you get past me, is when you're gonna see anything worth seeing.
Happy to
all right, well let's see what we got. Oh, here we go.
Boots are for, right?
No, this is so this is the roof of the building that we stayed in. I haven't gone anywhere yet at this point.
Yeah,
I'm the first one up, and I'm pissed off that nobody wants to go out and look around.
We came in last night. The last little bit was on some train tracks.
I'll tell you. I said I'm the first one up. The guides have not come back to get us yet, and I'm just bored, and I want to go look around, but there's nowhere to go. They said don't leave until we come back, and so we're just stuck here. So we're waiting for these guides to come back, and that's what's happening. I'm the only one up right at this moment because you can't sleep. It's terrible, but yeah, that's
that had to be extremely surreal.
I thought for sure that I would be creeped out in some kind of Blair Witch fashion that I had never been creeped out before. And I don't know if I was so focused on, oh my God, this is happening, or I was so exhausted, but it never even entered my mind. And, literally it's about as alone and as far out there as I've ever been.
Okay.
I've been by myself and I've been different, but I knew there was a little crew with us. And
right.
I mean, I was just worried about getting caught. But
Okay, so I'm hoping that I've got another one set ready to go. This might be the amusement park, possibly, or it might be you talking some. I'm not sure. Let's see. Here we go. And
All right, going into another school.
okay, so this is our first trip out, and this is a school. We've looked at some other stuff. This is a school we're going into here.
you'll have to point the guy out that was throwing up everywhere,
All right.
so we can make fun of him as we go.
Yeah, his name's Callum.
Callum.
Callum. So that's Tom right there. That's Callum's buddy.
Oh, okay.
The guy straight ahead is Simon. He's from the Netherlands, and he did great. He was great.
Which one had their mom pack their lunch for?
I think Tom that you just saw.
Okay.
I mean, we don't know that for sure, but
No, but we can say that though.
yeah, that's the guide right there. So this was like a elementary school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And like I think it's like 3 floors. Maybe it was kindergarten through 3rd grade, possibly is what we thought. Maybe more.
And the government has just shut this city up, and that's the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah. At first they thought they were going to maybe preserve it, try to bring people back in there, but that never happened. And they just really don't want anybody going there, and they're just kind of letting it. I mean, this is kind of how every building is. There's not a lot of stuff left. They went in like removing asbestos. They went in and removed as much contaminated stuff and buried it. Stuff and kind of left other things.
Oh, wow.
Like this, because cash register has money in it, but it's got to be a setup. It's 35 years. I'm sure that some of these other guys that go in here on a regular. Okay, so this is kind of cool. Check this out. So what's happening here is we don't know what's going on, but this surprises us. Watch.
No way.
So this dog has a very serious looking collar on it, and we were immediately like, police dog.
Right.
What is this dog doing? It's checking a building, and it's found us now. What do we do? We don't know what to think. And so first we're just kind of like, okay, we decide to hightail it out of here until we figure out what's going on. And this was a little creepy too. So we're like, okay, time to get out of here.
Wow.
That's
okay,
my
you're
son's
gonna have
wedding.
to finish telling us the rest of that story because I've got to find out what happened.
Well, yeah,
Did
so
you go to
check
jail?
right here to see. The dog follows us. It follows us all the way out in the bushes where we hide.
No.
So it turns out this dog actually belongs to another guy that has a group that's in there like
Oh,
us.
you're kidding. Oh,
No.
okay. It looked like it could have been a police dog.
German Shepherd. I mean, scary looking.
I thought he was going to turn into something from some zombie flick.
God, right?
I'm waiting for that to happen.
We got separated from my friend Neil, who's just obliviously up on the 3rd floor right now, and I'm thinking, oh my God, he's getting hot, busted. But none of that was going on.
Okay.
Now, how much? Now, I've heard that the count, the radiation count's still high there, that you're only allowed to be there so many hours.
So there
On
is,
site.
we had a meter. I can't remember what they actually, not a Geiger counter, but they got these almost a quarter size of a cell phone. It's a little stick. So it's like a little memory stick. And both guys had them, and they were constantly checking. And as long as it was below 30, you were okay. And for most of the part, it was relatively, now it starts screaming at you if it went over 40. And it could get a lot higher. On our way in, we went to a spot called the Red Forest. Called Red Forest because that's the path the radiation was blown in the initial explosion, and it's pretty hot. And it was hitting 174 in there.
Still.
You don't stick around. So yeah, there is spots, but I would think that you're going to find it if you really go digging into the ground, or the hospital where they treated the firefighters and stuff like that. We went to that hospital. That thing was going off there pretty good, and we went up just to the 3rd floor across and back down. We did not go any lower. And certainly don't go to the basement, which is where all those clothes are still laying in there contaminated. So there was spots that were hotter, but kind of like getting an x-ray or whatever, as long as you're just don't take root there and sit there and absorb it for a week or whatever. Not that concerning. I mean, they have people there too. There's still employees at the dome that's there, and there's military people around there, and there's a water treatment plant still open there that has employees. So it's not like the whole place just kill you the minute you go in there. But there is some hot spots, and if you went digging around, you'd find stuff.
So you can't take any souvenirs with you, can you? Well,
you could, but I don't know if you remember that episode of the Brady Bunch. They brought that thing back from the Hawaiian Islands.
Yes, I do. Doug, you remember that?
Yes.
Yes. The Vincent tarantula. Yeah.
That's always in the back of my head. I didn't need any of that crap following me back. And also, if you were to get caught and you did have a souvenir on you, they do treat you differently according to the.
Let's do that. Shortest person you've ever.
The shortest person
encountered ever.
Shortest person that I've ever encountered?
I actually met 2 women who were 18 inches tall, and that is no lie. I shook their hand.
No way.
Wow.
I swear to you.
Did they have little hands?
And they weren't newborns.
Arkansas State Fair, Freaks and Geeks. And when I was about 15 years old, I drove myself out there. I lived in Arkansas.
There was a sideshow that late? Wow. That's amazing. This must have been in Podunkville.
No, actually, to be honest with you, it was in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
Little Rock State
It's Arkansas. It's Arkansas. Come on, it's Arkansas.
I thought it was mirrors. I actually was like, there's no way. I'm like, my eyes couldn't actually adjust.
Is from May 23rd. May 23rd. And this is
this year?
Yeah, I don't know where this is. I think this might be in one of the islands, but I'm not sure. And let's get this puppy up here for you.
Strange events are happening all over the world right now.
I mean, they did say it's gonna be thunderstorms, but I don't think that's.
Oh, I didn't know that. Whenever you see thunderstorms, there's always going to be a UFO in the sky.
Yeah,
but look at the sky though. That is the only cloud in the entire sky.
It's just here.
It's just that group right there.
Yeah. Well, there's if you've got hot air and cold air
right
up in the upper atmospheres, that's always going to create thunder and lightning.
Right. Well, and that's what some of the comments on this particular video had said too, is that really all it is right now is an electrical storm. It might look, right. It might look weird or interesting, and it's interesting for sure, but extraterrestrial, they'll probably.
Strange events are happening all over the world right now.
I mean, they did say it's gonna be thunderstorms, but I don't think that's.
Not only that, but it's not. It doesn't look like it's emitting from anything.
Yeah, because there's no clouds. It's just here.
Oh, I know what I was going to say.
Yeah, that just looks like that's what happens in the upper atmosphere when cold air meets hot air. That used to happen all the time from like the middle of August to September.
Okay.
In Las Vegas, because we would get the monsoon season.
Oh yeah.
If you've got 120 degree down at the floor of Las Vegas, oh man, we used to get wicked lightning storms and those electrical discharges.
It's really it's cool
to
seeing
the point where you would see my hair stand up, my dad's hair would stand up, my animals' hairs would stand up. It was crazy.
From like the magnetic field or whatever?
Yeah.
Really? So what I was going to say, I did remember this, and this is interesting because it almost goes to show what happens in a COVID or in a post-COVID world. A couple of the videos, and there were at least 2 of them that I almost put on here just for kicks and giggles. People don't know what event spotlights are. Like there hasn't been a club opening or some kind of big like Hollywood event happen in so long that they've seen, like, you know how when a club's opening and you'll see the spotlights.
They're all the time in Vegas.
Okay, well then these people that recorded these videos of the event spotlights didn't know what they were, and these Great.
Working.
The last couple ones haven't been too great. I promise I've got 2 left that should be a little bit better. Actually, this one was rather interesting. This is from June 13th. June 13th. Actually, this is kind of trippy. If it were this, I don't know what this.
Oh, that looks like Elon Musk's when he shot that rocket up into space. That's what that looks like.
I think I hear them mention his name in this. Here we go.
Do you see, bro? Yo!
Oh yeah, yep. That's what that is. That's when he shot that.
That's a
whatever
spaceship,
it was.
bro.
No, that's not, dude. God.
Oh, nah, look at it. It's vibing in the air, bro. You see the little rings? Oh, nah.
Yeah,
So
that
why
was
is it just
Elon
sitting
Musk's.
up there?
Chicken Little was real.
It's not. It's actually going
Yo,
out into
that's bananas,
space.
bro. Look at
Okay.
the lights
But
getting
the
bigger.
one behind it
Yeah.
was the I can't remember what they're called, but they're at the base of the rocket that
Okay.
they let go. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what that was.
Okay. So I'm wondering if maybe it just looks a lot different because it's at night.
Yeah, of course.
That's got to be it.
Yeah, there's a better one. It looks like it got like this vortex going around it.
I think I
Did
might
you
have
ever
seen
watch?
that one. Yeah, I think I saw that
one was wild. That was one of his first attempts.
So what is this guy doing? Is he going up and picking up his toys when he's done with them, or what?
I have no idea.
Or are they just going to float around in space
I don't know.
forever?
But have you
Forever.
seen? Did you ever see the picture that the guy from New Zealand shot, where you can see, because he's put up, what is it, 20,000 satellites, and he's going to wrap the entire planet in these satellites.
Musk is?
Oh, I gotta find that picture for you. Virginia that had the saline, and then they'd send another lot to Washington State that had a different version that has different side effects, because one side effect you get Bell's palsy, another side effect you get blood clots, another side effect you get paralyzed, there are heart attacks. So these each lot has a different effect. And so they're trying to, it's like, oh my gosh, what was that? The 12th Monkey. Did you ever watch that movie?
Yep.
This is an experiment. We are all there. We're all
their fucking monkeys.
Well, yes,
Trump
but
monkey.
we are their guinea pigs.
Yes.
And they did this back in the 60s and 70s and 80s. Remember in Chicago where they sprayed the really poor areas of Chicago with this, I can't remember, smallpox or something like that. And then a bunch of people died.
You've been watching Hook, Line, and Sinker. What is he saying now?
Stop what? Eating eggs. Stop eating eggs if we're worried about getting the virus. Why?
Why do we have to stop eating hate?
Eggs.
Oh, hey, don't eat hate.
Eggs. No, eggs.
Cake.
EGGS.
Cake.
Why?
Don't eat cake.
Why did he say?
He said not to eat cake if you want the virus.
Don't eat eggs.
No, why though?
Why, Dennis?
Well, that's what they use to make the virus, is in eggs.
They use eggs to make the virus?
Right, the vaccines, they used eggs.
Yeah, but they're not going in.
Soylent Green is made out of people.
So you want to spread it, you spread it within the eggs.
Well, that would make sense if you want to spread the
Do you know how big of a knife that would take?
Unless they are organic eggs sold on somebody's farm.
Yeah.
That's where I get my eggs
In outer
from.
space.
I do not buy store-bought eggs.
I make my own, actually.
Man, I was just thinking that an egg salad would be really, really good.
Yeah, you could only eat 2 bites of it, so don't.
I know, and it gives me cramps after that. So yeah.
It might give you new things now. It might give you the vaccine.
It might give me the vaccine.
It might.
But it won't give me a vaccine card so I can go everywhere.
Oh, shoot. What? Retro FM Network. Thank you very much for tuning in. With me tonight, I have got a couple of friends. Doug next door.
Hey.
Hola. And also my friend Trump Monkey is on with me tonight.
Hey.
Hey. How's everything in your world tonight?
Not too bad. Got the house cleaned today. I have a job interview on Monday.
Nice. At a convenience store?
Oh, no, nope. I will be taking care of
that was a joke.
Adults with disabilities and people that have traumatic brain injuries.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So I'll be making a lot more money than I am right now. And I won't have to talk for 8 hours a day nonstop.
Right. And
Friday, I lost my voice.
Really?
I lost my voice 3/4 of the way into my shift.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and then my vocal cords, my throat started bleeding.
Oh my God.
Like 3 hours before the end of my shift, and they wouldn't let me leave.
Wow.
It's just, I need to get out of that position. It's not very good for my
throat. Your
throat.
throat doesn't bleed. Good grief.
Yep.
You kind of got the sexy Kim Carnes, Bonnie Tyler thing going on, though.
Yes.
Oh, I do.
Right. Add a little bit of Bryan Adams and Rod Stewart. That's one song, one quartet that I always wanted to hear. Bonnie Tyler, Kim Carnes, Rod Stewart, and Bryan Adams, because they all have that same gravelly voice. All right. Well, enough of the 70s superstars. Okay, so we're going to get right into some video watching. Dan, by the way, will not be with us because Dan has poor Wi-Fi.
Oh.
Yes, so he will be in with us on Tuesday, he said, though, so we'll be looking forward to that. By that time, though, we could all be 6 feet under. Well, no, it'll take a while for that to happen, but you know what I mean. Okay, why am I hitting this with my mouse on one screen? Oh, because I did. These aren't edibles, believe it or not. Okay.
You're having a senior fart.
What's that?
You're having a senior fart.
A senior fart. That's pleasant. Thank you for that. No, I'm not having a senior fart. Actually, what I am having is kind of a little giggle over this, which is where are we at? Oh, there we go. Here's Bill. Cheers.
CO2 is warming the planet. And the equation on CO2 is actually a very straightforward one. If you sum up the CO2 that gets emitted, that leads to a temperature increase. And that temperature increase leads to some very negative effects. The effects on the weather, perhaps worse, the indirect effects in that the natural ecosystems can't adjust to these rapid changes, and so you get ecosystem collapses. Now, the exact amount of how you map from a certain increase in of CO2 to what temperature will be and where the positive feedbacks are, there's some uncertainty there, but not very much. And there's certainly uncertainty about how bad those effects will be, but they will be extremely bad. I asked the top scientists in this several times, do we really have to get down to near zero? Can't we just, cut it in half or a quarter? And the answer is that until we get near to zero, the temperature will continue to rise. And so that's a big challenge. It's very different than saying, we're a 12-foot high truck trying to get under a 10-foot bridge and we can just sort of squeeze under. This is something that has to get to zero. Now, we put out a lot of carbon dioxide every year, over 26 billion tons. For each American, it's about 20 tons. For people in poor countries, it's less than 1 ton. It's an average about 5 tons for everyone on the planet. And somehow we have to make changes that will bring that down to zero. It's been constantly going up. It's only various economic changes that have even flattened it at all. So we have to go from rapidly rising to falling and falling all the way to zero. This equation has four factors, a little bit of multiplication. So you've got a thing on the left, CO2, that you want to get to zero. And that's going to be based on the number of people, the services each person's using on average, the energy on average for each service, and the CO2 being put out per unit of energy. So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. That's back from high school algebra. But let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, health care, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. But there we see an increase of about 1.3.
Well, what do you know?
Uh-huh.
That's the very famous footage that he never said. For about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and had an awesome time. And it's just weird though, because I would have never.
That was Clinton.
Huh?
That was Clinton.
Was that Clinton? Oh, Miggs and Flemington.
Well, if you want to give all the information of where all my family is, yes.
Oh my God, I'll completely cut this out, poop. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
that part.
Oh, that whole thing actually is coming out. So there we go. So,
but listen, you know, oddly enough, the way that I had
Unbelievable thing once you hear the context, but 2014, I think it was June, or no, it was September. I was leaving the California high desert, or maybe the end of August. But me and Zach Cartier left the California high desert, Hesperia, Apple Valley, Victorville. It's called the Desert Triangle.
oh yeah.
But we were leaving there. We took a highway easterly. We ended up in a little tiny town called Boron, California, that we ended up walking into.
Okay.
And then we were sleeping in Kramer Junction, right here off this overpass on a, like, it was an embankment. It's probably 30 feet below us. It was just a cool place to sleep for the night.
Yeah.
Area 51
No
is
way.
like right here.
No way.
Swear to God. Area 51's like right over here. Barstow. It's the Barstow.
Oh yeah.
Closest town to Area 51. So it was right there. All prior to that day, we told that there was going to be a crazy storm in the area and thunderstorm. And that's why we got a high vantage point so we could see the whole storm happen.
Right.
While this storm was happening, there was incredible aerial acrobatics going on by flying objects. They were UFOs. They were unidentified to me, flying objects.
That's what a
I think it
UFO
was
is.
military personally, but they're testing something. But it was the most intense lightning storm I'd ever seen. It was
I'll
right
bet.
on the edge of the Sierra Nevada mountains, and there was at the slowest there was a strike once every 5 seconds, but at the peak there was like 2-3 strikes a second. Just like.
Was the storm
Insane.
was the storm man-made?
I'm not sure. It could have been. That's beyond my speculation. It lasted all night. But what was crazy is even though the storm seemed like it was, I don't know, at most maybe 20 miles away, it's a different environment that I'm used to as far as atmosphere, because we were in a desert and mountains, so
Right.
my sense of distance may have been skewed.
Right.
But I felt like it was in between 10 and 20 miles away from us, and I felt like I should have heard, but it was like almost like a muffled, like if you put like a bag over like it was like there was a muffling to all of it, and it almost just sounded like it was sonic booms only.
Really?
And this is where like my brain kind of went off. I was like, maybe it was man-made, like they weren't actually lightning strikes. It was just like flashes that were being created to make people think. Or maybe the crafts were creating.
Could be.
Maybe they were pulling static electricity.
Very easily
from the
could
sky
be.
To power these crafts.
You mentioned something though, and I like that, is because you didn't say that it was necessarily extraterrestrial.
I have no idea.
I don't
It was so beyond my comprehension. I have never seen vehicles do this before. Like they were fucking. Like,
You didn't get
it would
pictures of all,
fucking
did
kill
you?
humans. I do have pictures, and I will.
Well, I've got to apologize right now while we're winding down. We've been having some major technical difficulties. It's like it's not operating correctly. So my apologies. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully it'll play back better than what it's showing us if we're watching it live. But yeah, a lot of issues and all without any prior notice or whatever, and obviously out of our hands. So we do thank you for watching, and that brings it to an end because I can't get these to run anymore. So I'm gonna do a couple quick commercials and then we're out. Don't forget next Wednesday, the 20th, 7 p.m. right here, part 2 of tonight's show. So have a great time or have a great one in the meantime, and I'll talk to you guys soon. DJ Phoenix over now.
Hi guys, we are Soldiers of Monochrome. We are live on Neo Retro FM.
Just like that.